Hello and welcome back to the studio. So, Dust 2 is going to be the second map of the evening versus these two teams, and you said this would be a better map for one of the teams.
Well, I feel like Vex will have a much easier time. I think they are pretty darn good Dust 2 teams, and despite it being PiTER's pick, I think Vex are going to win this one. I mean, we saw a 16-12 there. I think a lot of the rounds that Vex lost looked kind of weird because they lost against a lot of force buys with full rifle setups on cobblestone. Seems a little bit weird. I'm not sure what your take on that is, but I do know that I feel like the individual skill advantage is well within the favor of Vexed, and I think when Furlan really gets going with the AWP on this map, it gets pretty crazy. So I'm expecting a Vex to take this like something around 16-10, I'd say. I don't know if you feel or mirror that prediction, but
I have no opinion. I just look forward to seeing the carnage, Dan. That's why I'm here. I just want to bear witness. So, two people over towards the B site for the CT. As you can see, GruBy playing close. Will he start to get hungry for information? Will he start to push? PiTER heading towards short now, it seems. They will see that there's a CT there. They have the numbers advantage. They will go for the engagement while Long is pushed by Junker.
Furlan's going to go down to Long, so this split is going to be really, really powerful. All this is awful for Vex. They've got to do some crazy shots right now to get back into this round. And we'll see them moving through middle back up to Catwalk, but there is already a player there from PiTER. So PiTER basically have more or less a perfect setup with 5 players still left alive and the plant down. First engagements and the retake are going to be easily shut down by PiTER, and Vexed are going to be starting off probably force buying here. And they didn't even get a single frag, so that means no scouts for them.
No scouts. So, do they go armor 5-7? Peet 50 in a flash, also an option. See some of them doing that. So very recently we saw Team Liquid, well yesterday, not going for the force buy on the CT side of Mirage on the second round, but not something we're really seeing on Dust 2 yet. CTs like to continue to force buys. This flashbang might pay off in spades. There's 2 players down. Look at the trades on the scoreboard there. 3-3. And as PiTER choose to push the site, there will be guns left over in Long. You can see rallen's rotating in that direction while his remaining brethren try to hold the site, but PiTER going to hold steadfast for the time being, maybe expecting a push towards the guns from Vexed.
There's a flank coming in though. Rallen is speeding through T-spawn. And again, if PiTER decide to actually just keep holding here, Rallen gets a nice position out, because he can just stay outside of the doors, because his teammates will have called that they haven't moved into A, and if he spots nothing there, he's going to realize that they should all be still in Long, and they're going to be spotted there potentially. So Rallen is a key player. But the unfortunate thing is there's no deagle to use for these Vex players because it's really good at these ranges. You have to make do with what they have, and PiTER move together up onto the bomb side. His first position from Hyper strong, but Rallen's going to find himself that scout. He's going to do some damage. He gets a double tag to finish off Junker, leaving only waterfalls left alive here for PiTER's side. He does have the bomb on his back and 30 seconds to try to reposition, and it looks like he's going to go for a maneuver towards B.
Yeah, this is getting a bit tricky. Oh, it's getting tagged now, and he may not even make it towards the door. Have to run to the window. I feel like they could have easily thrown the weapons on top of Blue there to make him at least harder to retrieve, or made him impossible. But there we go, just left on the floor, and the scout of all things on Long. Now they will look to pay for it. Waterfall's only with 14 HP. Needs to make sure he hits the shots here. Rallen with the scout doesn't have any armor, and he's the only one left now. GruBy going down, although he just doesn't know where Rallen is. And there it is. The CTs will take the force buy after all.
Yeah, really nicely done by Vexed. And part of the issue, again, we see this commonly, is PiTER slowed it down way too much. It gave Vex an opportunity for Rallen to get into position. And the longer you give the pistoling players to reposition to play together, the harder your chances will be, and the more engagements and tactical advantages they can find. And that's exactly what we saw there. Rallen, of course, he hit some great shots. I think he got like 5 connections on the scout there or something. It was very good, very well done. And now the force back straight from PiTER to try to deal with the CT economy, but Rallen is just going to open it up with the AWP straight away and show that he is looking to kill some dudes. He's a dude killer.
Well, the Long area is still being contested, and the T's, unbeknownst to Vex, will completely abandon it actually, so Vex, it may take them some time to find that information. And you can see GruBy going for the flank, assuming PiTER are in Long. Is he going to slow down as he gets to T-spawn? Will PiTER detect him?
Yeah, this is quite interesting because Rallen actually hasn't been spotting mid for a while, so unfortunately for GruBy, he was not going to have much information to go off, but he's going to spot all the players now. He's actually on the angle. He's actually throwing bullets into that angle from a T-spawn, and now Rallen, he's got it's like almost a crossfire with the AWP from CT spawn. However, they are going to move up catwalk, PiTER. They will evade these nasty angles. But Vex, they know the movement. They've seen everything. GruBy's going to go back into B though. Push comes in.
No spray. Got the aim punch there, taking down Rallen as well. GruBy and Pete are all that's left. There's an engagement in long coming up shortly. PiTER doesn't check the angle. He's going to go down as well, so he will continue to trade.
This is a really surprising turn of events because you got this position where all the T's are spotted moving in middle. GruBy's there in T spawn, so and they also have Rallen who could, and there was no smoke left for the T's, so Rallen had the full reign on just being able to peek to spot if they're going, you know, like which direction they're going, how they're moving in middle. So GruBy of course wanted to play it super safe, go into the B bomb site, but he definitely had the option to stay and keep harassing from the back, because that way PiTER always have to worry about their back, and it's always very scary. They might even decide to try to make an effort to clear it, or he could have gone towards lower dark to make sure that he couldn't get into dark and need faster rotation towards A, but he just went back into B bomb site, and very interesting, and that's put them in a really bad spot now. Vex don't have anything to work with. They're getting wrecked on the A long area.
Yep. Finally, we'll see some consistency in the round victories here. It's Rallen and GruBy, all that's left. So that AWP will want to run away at this point, because if he misses a shot, could be isolated, and that might be pretty bad here. So, not much to say really. 2 plays left, and now it's 1. Rallen admiring the scenery here in T-spawn. He'll look to try and make an exit frag of some description. He's got a good angle for it, as it will be hard to check that one.
So the other thing that's also a little bit surprising from Vex in that previous round is that, like, when you know that there's only players coming in from, because they spotted all the 3 players, so when you know that they're all coming from catwalk, you don't need to hold catwalk. Like, you don't need to do that. You can just basically take up safer positions to prevent the bomb from going down, which allows you to delay the push for quite a long time, even if you don't make the frags, which allows the guys from B to come in more quickly. So there's like lots of spots in that round I think that Vex would need to look at, because now PiTER, they've taken a massive edge because of winning that round, where Vex had the advantage. So because Vex have now basically have had to double eco, that's pretty massive, and the AWP was picked up as well for PiTER, so that they're actually doing insanely well on the money.
Well, we're going to have a challenge towards long, it seems, from Jumka and facecrack. Facecrack taking some damage, and long has been abandoned indeed by the CTs. Of course, CTs on eco again, so PiTER with a good opportunity to just rack up a bunch of rounds here. Again, they're going to have to contest with at some point the 5-7s, the PiTER 50s. The CTs will have control of short actually, and they have hyper at top mid. Although now that flashbang will give his position away, and he'll get taken down. That will weaken the defense over towards the A side. If he could just keep control of that area, maybe be undetected, then Vex could play with these boxes on the site. Have a nice shot by Rallen, and now spaze has many angles to look at. He'll get taken down from short. So things are getting a bit weird now. But the bombers made it onto the site, and the T's retain control of long. And they've got 2 sniper rifles as well. So this should be a situation where Vex will try and save the 2 AKs they have.
Well, they can definitely go for it as well, because they're going to be buying next round anyway, so they feel like they can hit the shots here. But it looks like 1 player going down already. It's going to initiate a saving maneuver, which is unfortunate for them. They did good damage though. Unfortunately, that second AK is not really retrievable. Although, actually, no, it was close enough for GruBy to grab safety. However, this can come in, take down Pete's. 1 for 1. It's just 1 AK staying alive, which is nice for Vexed. Now they're gonna have a lot of money in this round, or they should have like a decent amount of money to buy with, yeah. So we get the instant AWP purchase there from P, and Rallen also picks up an AWP as well. And I have to see if the double AWP will pay off for them. It's a good answer, I think, to what PiTER have been doing, playing the picks.
So got a standard A take from the CTs here. We'll see if it can prove more successful. There's a T already with the angle there, but the smoke is down, and the CTs will win the initial challenge there. PiTER taking their default map control elsewhere. See if they go for the play indeed. There's going to be a pop flash coming through middle doors. So they will try and figure out the setup of the CTs here. There is a rotation back into CT from one of the CTs, who's, you can see he's jumped on the box there. That's Hyper. Maybe anticipating a smoke coming in. Also taking a bit of a surprise angle. He'll get a spray down onto facecrack and taken quite a lot of damage, but again, the man advantage is what counts here. Yeah,
and the passive setup from Vex is going to be quite strong as well. They've got one player in CT spawn, which is Hyper with the rifle. He's usually in that position. He's going to be able to take down. Runner's going to be able to take down waterfalls, so Hyper will stay alive. And looks quite good right now for Vex. Push is forced to go in from the catwalk area, but again, Vex with some good positioning here. Pete just has to hit one shot, and this should not work for PiTER.
Well,
oh dear.
Frags are going the way of PiTER after all, so things getting evened up now. You can see Furlan still in control of Long, but it's not him that has a sniper rifle. He's got a scout. Rallen's got an AWP elsewhere. There we go. The CT is going for the retake now behind the smoke, and things getting a bit crazy on short. Can Rallen survive here? No, he's going to get taken down. I'm not sure how he got there with a team behind him. But this is working out for the CTs now. This round going back and forth here, and that's only a beak left with a scout. The bomb's for him. And that clock is starting to tick as well. There is one defuse kit onto GruBy. And maybe a beak can waste enough time, but a P50 coming in there. He's going to continue peeking though. And that defuse is going to come in. Ooh, it's going to be a close one. Just in time. If he just goes back behind the box, he wins around there.
Yeah, and it's quite funny as well because they were kind of messing up the wallbang a little bit. And so that was a really weird situation, to be honest. PiTER doing so much damage. Again, so much more damage than they should have done. Again, 5 players left alive for Vex, 3 from PiTER. PiTER just running into the site because they don't really have anything else to do. And they're going to pick up a lot of frags with their first 2 openings. And this is going to work out here for PiTER as well. waterfaLLZ going to pick up the cross shot. Nice from facecrack as well, living up to his name as Furlan goes down by Long. And now PiTER are in a really sick position. Vex have to take a gamble here. They either have to stack a bomb site. I mean, they can't spread out. They've got to stay together, I would say. Try to be able to in a spot where you can either save the weapons or crush the push. Those are the 2 spots you want really here. And I like that they're going towards catwalk together with the A players. I think that's a smart choice.
Yeah, so they are in a position where they can't really afford to trade. Already 2 men down. I think, let's see, that's Vexed over towards the bomb site, holding down a tunnel area with the... Sorry, no, it's not, it's GruBy. Okay, so they don't have the ideal positions, and there we go, losing the duel there. Probably would have been traded anyway. They're all going to get wiped out, basically. This is a bit scrappy, not going the way of the CTs at the moment. Well, the pause coming in. It's a bit crazy, Dan.
Yeah, the Vexed on the defense here, they're getting kind of abused pretty heavily. Of course, you know, PiTER getting that, waterfaLLZ getting that shot straight at the start really hurt them. And looks like they're going to pause due to a TeamSpeak issue, so that will be resolved hopefully quickly. And Vex basically have to double eco now. So PiTER should be able to... PiTER are looking at a spot where they can likely get 10 rounds in this first half.
Right, so again, it's Vex who are 1 map up at the moment, and PiTER, I mean, it's still super early days here on Dust 2. This is definitely a map where Vex can mount a comeback, although their economy will not allow it for the time being. We'll see how much money PiTER can build, and as PiTER build money on the T side, obviously, should they start to lose rounds, then they can continue to pressure with the economy that they are building. So Furlan should be reconnecting very shortly indeed, and then we should be back into the game here. Do you know what the deciding map is? Should it go that way?
What was it? It's overpass. Okay.
Intradasting. Where does that intradasting mean from?
What?
Intradasting.
I don't know. You know a lot more memes than me, it seems.
Well, our graphics guy sometimes says intradasting, but I noticed someone else said it to me or somewhere recently.
Really?
I thought it was just a him thing, but in fact it's not. It's a thing. It's a general thing.
First time I'm hearing it.
Intradasting. I presume it's from a game. If you know, send me a tweet. So who are you fancying for this one then? The way things are going at the moment.
Well, I mean, PiTER will probably win this map from the fact that, again, they're likely to get double digits on that T side, and Vexed, unless they have a pretty sick T side, they're really not playing as well as I have seen them play on LAN at the very least. So I would expect, I'm kind of expecting them to hit more shots, some of the setups to be a bit tighter. We've seen a lot of weird situations, especially on the first map as well.
But I just found a Euro in my shoe.
Let's see if they can bounce back.
Well, the CTs will all make it over towards the B-bomb side, but again, this is an eco. There is no armor on any of these players. Oh, Hyper taking down spaze on long, and there's been damage done to Tatsu and waterfalls as well. But everyone else is going to die very quickly. And that's going to be that. So, Vexed, let's see if they're going for a double eco here, because they are quite lacking in the money. Going to buy up some pistols and see what they can do. But, I mean, the PiTER players are like $10,000 plus now, so they are without a care with a 4-round lead at the moment.
Yeah, we see the second save coming in from Vex, just buying some pistols. Really hard times found by them. PiTER with a very, very good choice to just go for a fast round into B again, not really delaying things all that much. Although the bomb is lagging behind a little bit, but it will make its way into the B-bomb site now. So this should be a very clean round for PiTER as well. I don't think there's much really the Vex can do. And it's not really within their interest to save either. I think it's much better to try to get the damage in, to try to get as many frags as they can, because they're buying this round anyway, and pistols will not really be so necessary to save.
Yeah, I think they're just going to position themselves to try and take weapons away from the Ts as they try and make their exit, but that will cause the Ts to be somewhat more aggressive post-plant, obviously expecting that, and they will need to clear a path for them to retain their weapons and make sure that they don't get into the hands of the CTs. As we have seen, Hyper's picked one up.
He's even picked up a Molotov, that's nice too. That could be used nicely in the following round. So essentially, I think where the match is really going to be dictated is how this next round goes, because again, if they lose this one, it's another eco. So PiTER will be on 9 rounds already before Vex can really get things going, and their money's ridiculous. Ibik essentially has 16k, and Jimka is very close to that as well. So that's kind of nuts. Double up comes in for Vex. They're looking for the answer with the double up setup. Quick long take coming in as well. That really fast long challenge from Ibik.
Indeed, but there is a CT behind them, and the CT's not going to lose any players just yet. So the flashbang's going to keep players blind, running all over the place, but the CTs will win the duel. 2 players though coming through towards CT spawn. Can they get anything out of this? Consider just waiting for an engagement there. They don't have anybody in position for a B split, so not executing the nades just yet. Let's try and pick over towards A, and indeed that will be the bait to take down Furlan.
Well, GruBy's actually going to run straight out here. This is kind of scary considering that he's not got any support. But the Ts will actually back off after picking up the kill there. And there is a potential for Vex to flank a player through Longhouse. And the bomb is only just making its way through Suicide. So it might be a good time for Hyper to try to go for the flank here. And he is actually going for it right now. Hyper could be massively key for his team. Pete cannot afford to really miss these shots. He's going to miss another one. They're finally hitting one. There's more players on his angle. He's going to finally go down. And Hyper is not going to flank up Catwalk. Instead he's going to go towards Long. But looks like a lot of frags will be coming in for Vex. So 3 versus 1 is now the situation as spaze is left alive.
Well, it's spaze versus 2. They're both coming from the same direction, however. See if they try to go for a bit of a sneaky boost. Time is ticking. They've both got kits. Spray down coming in, and that's going to be the round for Vex. Finally, they'll get a round on the board there. They did start with 2 AWPs. We'll see if they choose to continue. Rallen could drop his at the feet of Hyper and try and pick up the other one. But they indeed will locate the second AWP. So they'll continue with 2 AWPs onto the next round, but again, if PiTER were to take this round, for example, it would reset the loss bonus for Vex, and then PiTER would have, or should have, a very strong half.
One of the nice things was having the faster play from the CTs towards Long, because there were a lot of rounds where PiTER were running guys, especially like facecrack, just into Anubik, just into Long, just to try to find fast kills, like very committed way. And they punished that for the first time last round, so that's good from Vexed. Now they have to worry about the mid take, which looks like that's what PiTER wanted to go for.
Indeed, once again, just emerging through those double doors. Furlan's in position a lot closer this time, but his teammate's getting caught in isolation. Indeed, he'll get taken down despite the flashbang coming in from the CTs. Furlan's in trade. His position is known now. Spade's getting dinked repeatedly, going down. So trades for both teams, again, very scrappy. The bomb now left in isolation, going to have to try and rotate. Furlan going down towards the A site, leaving only Rallen versus 3 players now.
Yeah, this is not happening for Rallen. He's got to save this orb. This is another really awful spot. They did win 2 in a row though, so I'm not sure. Let's check their money very quickly and see where they're at. Okay, so oh dear, 1400s on top of what they have. So 3k, between 3k and 4k basically. That is awful. That's really awful. But with the orb save, they might be able to force it up anyway and still have a decent buy. And if Rallen survives, they will be able to do that. So he needs to survive here. It's very important. He's getting very aggressive though, that said. Very aggressive. And he's going to get taken out. So I think it'd be more advisable to go for a save now from this position. Because he would have been able to drop, one. And they could have had like, they could have afforded to have FAMAS on team. So orb FAMAS, that's not too bad. But if only FAMAS is pretty bad. So they got to save again. So this is like 5 ecos maybe they've had to do, or maybe even 6 ecos they've had to do already.
Yeah, they've all been a complete failure from what I can remember. So going to have somewhat of a standard layout again on the eco buy, and the slaughter begins. We've got a push coming in on short, the angle not being found, the AK saving the Orpha there, waterfalls. So 2 left. All the angles being checked by the T's, and they've got a numbers game, so another standard affair here for PiTER, another 3 rounds you might say. 6-round lead now as the route continues. Vex going back for the buy once more. Rallen, AWP, no armor. There are a reasonable amount of nades on his teammates though.
I mean, this really doesn't look too bad if they manage to actually get the next 3 rounds, which isn't the hugest ask in the world. That 6-9 though, they can fight back from that, but they've got to try to. The problem is that PiTER are finding ways to take angels, and they are winning a lot of them. That's kind of one of the crux of the issue here. Outskilling their opponents, which should not be happening here for Vex. And we see that they try to push into upper dark our Vex. They've got GruBys up in there, looking for an angle towards Catwalk. And GruBy's going to be successful in taking a kill into upper dark. He's going to fall back with that advantage, which is smart. So Vex can play passively now. And PiTER are still looking for picks though. The bomb's just down in the middle. And they're all over the place looking for picks. Waterfalls there harassing into the A-bomb site, for example.
Almost a tag there onto the site. Molotov trying to force the CE out of the position, but PiTER won't be able to capitalize. Still a man down. Rallen, GruBy, Pete, all heavily tagged here, so these AKs could still put in work. They will need to AWP push might get difficult now with a man down. Still a lot of nades on the T side, however, whereas Vex have a few counter flashes. Other than that, not much going on. He's moving towards the B-bomb site now, and again, Rallen just with a free kill onto Waterfall there. They're lining up one by one. There's the third one. Facecrack going down as well. A beak is all that remains for the PiTER side. So, Vex, after some adversity, may get another round on the board after all.
Beak is going to be able to take down Furlan though. But the bomb is down in a precarious position. And we run into a lot of gunfire. And so 4 rounds for Vex. They only lose 1 player there. So that is pretty much that's close to best case scenario for Vex. So double up is still the play for them as they look to get the 6-9. We still have a lot of money on PiTER though. Actually, they could be forced to eco. Well, not eco, but they could be on a bad buy in the next round. But what play do we have coming in here from them? Fast aggression into upper dark is going to result in a fast movement into B as well. Waterfalls picking off GruBy. Things looking very precarious. Unless Rallen has a massive play here on the B bomb site, they're going to lose this round, Vexed.
Yeah, GruBy was trying to make it through double doors into low tunnel, but got caught on the cusp of greatness, Dan. And now there's only 3 Vex players left, trying to keep control of the B bomb site, but the bomb is finally heading in there, and it's going to be a difficult one. They've got a flank coming in through T-spawn, another player in tunnels as well. But what can they do about it? There's still a smoke on Jimka, so might be a difficult retake here. But there's an important frag. Jimka, the one who had the smoke, going down just as the smoke comes in to the tunnel area. So now some information is known by PiTER, but can Furlan and co take this round back in their hands?
Oh, he finds the perfect timing to go in here, but the frags need to come in. Great flick there from Pete. There's 1 player left in space by the car position as Pete looks for the frag. Oh, he's going to miss the shot though. A little bit too slow. Spaze is going to get it done for PiTER, and Vexed reset. Oh dear. They have resets. They do have a buy, but it's pretty. I mean, it could be a lot worse, I guess. They've got some rifles in there.
They're being reset like a Super Nintendo.
They've had an
with a dusty cartridge.
Ooh, we get the fast timing though from them. Oh wow, that's that's incredible there. That's a great shot from rallen. And now we have an early advantage for Vex. They're going for a push as well. Will spaze actually get caught in the back? Looks like rallen will miss this flick, and there's 2 players immediately dead for Vex. Immediately.
Indeed, so it seems more difficulty for Vex to come. Ooh, that UMP doing a bit of damage there, but facecrack's left with 5 HP. Still alive though, so still the man advantage for PiTER. Pete only has the 5-7 as well, so he will not have any range advantage to speak of. Ooh, nice angle there. Facecrack finally goes down, and the weapon might be collected. Actually, Pete's not going to commit to it yet. He's going to just hold the angle there, but he may get a bit anxious and pick it up soon. It looks so juicy, the AK, but is he going to go for it? Indeed, he is. His teammate's coming up short, but long has been lost, as has the bomb site.
The only issue for them is that they don't have a kit, so that's going to have to cause them to speed up a little bit. As the AK could come in massively important here. Just find the first quick kill. Just going to peek out. He's going to easily take down Furlan. They are getting completely wrecked in the approach. Just GruBy left alive. He's going to take down Ćwikliński, looking for the follow-up frags, but there are a lot of damage on GruBy. He's pulled out the USP as a player ready to jump to finish him off. And that will be that. PiTER with 11 rounds on their T side. It's going to take a very strong start and very much better play from Vex to win this map.
Indeed, and the match is about to resume very quickly indeed. There we go. 4-2-11. Vex with it all to do now if they want to take this in 2 maps. PiTER looking good to get straight back into this game. But all the advantages of the first half will be gone. Now we're down to the pistol. Everything can change here. And Vex could find themselves quickly closing in on the score of PiTER if this proves successful. 2-man push here from the CT side on short, but they'll find minimal information. Only Hyper going in that direction.
Yeah, Vex going for the long aggression, which is now spotted by Ćwikliński. He gets tagged down very heavily, so 21 HP left from him, and the push comes in. Now waterfaLLZ trying to tap down some heads here. He gets a lot of shots off with the 5-7 before finally going down. Very timely push in from Catwalk, and only 1 player is left now. Facecrack is the only one remaining, so it's going to be very difficult for him to really be able to do much more in this round for his team. It's Vex looking to get the start that they need. But that said, wow. Facecrack is going to pop 2 players. He's still on half HP as well.
Indeed, no kit though. See if there's one on the floor somewhere. Moving on to the site, and the T's out of position, but that bomb is in a tricky spot. He's gonna nice jumping hold there, and he has to hold it, so he can't do anything else. If he tries to go for the frag, then that's the end of the round. Although being shot in the head will also signal the end of the round. Vex with a good start here. Can they make the comeback though?
Honestly, I was really scared with the jumping play there. I think that's very way too risky these days. Because again, he just has to then kill the last guy, who's in not the best position in the world with the Tech 9. Yeah. So was pretty worried about that, but Vex managed to pull it on through. Now the force spy comes in. Only 1 deagle though for PiTER. Ooh, rallen. What do you get abused? What do you get used and abused here? Facecrack find that frag.
That nade had so much potential, but it was an epic fail. Ooh, Facecrack, if he crouches, he can spam 2 meat shots here. Take one of these players to the butchers. Do they dare push through the doors here? You can see Facecrack trying to avoid the potential pop flashes coming in. That's a nice smoke actually to try and isolate the 2-man play here by the CTs. That flash will do good work as well. And rallen, so a smart play, just not committing through the doors there while he's focusing 1 player on the corner who's basically trying to bait him. Very nice play indeed. Eventually rallen though will go down to a beak.
Yeah, rallen just forcing the issue heavily there. Interesting stuff. We have the push onto the A bomb site from Vex though, and they're going to get a clean plant situation. And PiTER might just opt to play very loose exits, but prioritize their own safety actually, considering that they're going to steal away the Mac 10. And the Mac 10 is going to be really good if everybody survives with armor helmet, which they could do that. So I actually really like that they're trying to survive here over actually getting kills. I think that's really cool. Most teams would prioritize the kills over it, or the exits.
Yeah, but they're carrying a lot of money, so and they can take that into the next round.
And you get 2 chances. Good stuff there from Hyper, though. He should really commit to see if he can find some more here. However, he's a little bit too scared. He's going to just keep himself out of harm's way. So 6-11, and PiTER, as we can see, have to go for the eco, but they managed to save with 3 players, and they got a Mac 10 in there. So we see the pistol from spaze dropped onto one of the players who has to buy waterfalls to pick up the his 5-7, and he can roll in with the Mac 10 instead.
Right, so can Vex continue their winning ways once the buy comes in from PiTER? That's the question. Again, the gap will be closed as long as they are successful on this round. facecrack coming in, trying to do as much damage as he can. Now he's got to try and stay alive while his teammates run distraction here. He's going to get taken down, and the bomb site is firmly in control of the T's there. Ćwikliński with the 5-7 doing horrible damage here, and all of a sudden, in the mayhem, this could get taken here by waterfalls. Only Pete remains, and where is he? He's coming in through double doors, so waterfalls has picked up a Galil as well, and he's got a smoke, but he's got no armor. Ooh, a Galil versus a scout. This is interesting now. Waterfalls knows where Pete is, and he's going to retreat, so this is very unfavorable for Pete now. He's got a scout and a Glock versus a Galil and a 5-7.
Although Waterfalls has no armor, that's what can really save Pete in this position. He's right to pull out the Glock for the engagement instead of the scout here. It should be much more consistent if the resmoke comes in, but he can wait for it actually. He can wait the 17 seconds. It will, I think it went down at 37, so he's going to throw his own smoke in there, make things even a little bit more difficult here for Waterfalls. But that first smoke is going to disappear at 20 seconds, and here it is. It's disappearing now as Pete goes in over the top. This smoke is doing a good job actually covering him. He's going to find his way around even to a weapon if he wants. Oh no, he's not going to spot through the smoke though. He's trying to get a gun. Oh, this is so awkward right now. The bomb is there as well. Oh my god, he misses the shot as well. This is getting incredibly strange. 7 seconds left, but he'll get it done with the AK pickup. That was really odd, but he does find the save for Vex. Oh my god. Oh my god. Imagine being like the Vex players watching this guy.
This game is a little bit crazy. So, the gap's been closed to 4. The buy coming out for both sides. No AWP on the CT side yet. You can see one onto rallen there. He's got armor as well, which is a nice bonus for him. Doesn't always have it.
Ouch.
Tag onto spaze. So far, so good. And there's one more player who seems to want to cross the path. And will not do so for now. PiTER taking control of long. Going to leave Ćwikliński there on his own. And here he comes through double doors. All the T's. And they're going to eat a nade. That's going to do reasonable damage. The smoke coming in twice there from CT4. Not sure if that was a miscommunication, but the frags are going the way of Vex. The bomb's getting taken down by facecrack. That should cause a rotation from the CTs, but it's still holding steadfast towards A at the moment, actually, which is a bit of a surprise. So facecrack's going to face through the doors and see that he's got the bomb. All the T's coming in through the B side. This is really weird, Dan.
Yeah, they've got to really play as a team here to make sure they can use these numbers to their advantage. Because the positioning here for PiTER is actually not too shabby. facecrack's going to find himself a kill on rallen, who was retreating to his teammates, and there's 2 players left here. Furlan's really low. Hyper has to be careful. facecrack goes for the angle. Look at the engagement from Ćwikliński now, giving himself up. They know he's the last one alive. They double peek him, and Vex will win the round. So PiTER will be pushed onto an eco. Maybe they can afford some pistols if they want, but Vex are indeed closing the gap. However, they're taking a lot of losses every round, so PiTER just have to win 1 round to force them to eco. But of course, this round is unlikely to be that one.
Boom. Very consistent is rallen getting those shots through the door there. facecrack getting tagged down to 50. And again, PiTER will lament another eco situation. So basically, we can expect the CTs to be sprayed down by AKs, 1 by 1. Remaining CTs rotating over towards the A site now. Boost onto the site there. And use those boxes to their advantage, try and dance around them. At the point where Vex are trying to get onto the site and the CTs behind those boxes, the PiTER 50s can get the 1-taps in, but the CTs running out of plays to do it with. Charging through the smoke is Hyper trying to... I'm not sure if he had his knife out there or not, but there we go. 1 cursory kill, and Vex bringing the gap down to 2.
Yeah, so Vex are in this position which seems a bit more comfortable for them, where they're able to essentially forge their own aggressions, and that's helpful. As opposed to being reactive, the ability to be more proactive and have more space to work with on the T side is naturally, I think, giving Vex more comfort. And they're going to go for a fast long take in this round to try to break the CT economy once again. And GruBy's going to find his way straight into the pit. There is a CT almost, I think that's a one-way smoke there for waterfalls. And I think indeed, yeah, must be a one-way smoke there.
Yeah, that's a gimmick.
And you just put the smoke on the bomb plant spot there for long and then going towards the crate below. And that's going to give him a frag.
I got hit with that this morning, actually.
Did you?
Yeah.
Were you raging? Were you salty?
I've seen it before. I don't care for gimmicks. You can't get mad at gimmicks because of gimmicks. Spaze is getting wrecked through double doors though. Every time he tries to make it to B, rallen is tagging him. But again, what is it worth? He needs to find the kills at the end of the day. No kills for the T side yet. They've got a minute to find these kills. Bomb is creeping through long, and indeed rallen will take down waterfall now. Which may be a bit of a warning as to what's going on here. PiTER on the rotation now.
Looking for the entry. Quick movement there, cannot find the shot. The evasive maneuvers of Ćwikliński are going to prove quite effective, putting it to a 2 versus 3 now. We've got the M4s in hand for the CTs. Oh, the dink comes in from nowhere. Big finds the kill onto Furlan, leaving it all onto rallen. He's already got 2 kills, but he needs to make an additional 2 to win this round. And these CTs are moving quickly into position, and facecrack is going to slap down rallen and get the defuse in. But let's see, Vex with the bomb plant, I think they should be able to, despite losing a lot of money in some of the previous rounds, because they had a clean rounds previously, only losing 1 person, they do have enough to fall by. But only once. So PiTER in his position now, where they can force out ecos from Vexed, but vice versa. This is an incredibly important round. PiTER win this one, they'll go to like 14 or so. If Vex win this one, they will be able to take the lead.
So, who is going to take the advantage? Vex with 2 orbs. What angles will they be holding? Pete's looking for one of the CTs to jump onto the platform. They cannot do it without exposing their head behind red there, which is the angle he's holding. And with that smoke, maybe the jump will come in. So, he will be unable to exploit that angle. See where the other orb is shortly. Long is not going to be the focus of the T's for the time being, moving all their players up in towards the mid and short area. So, they're going to just rely on PiTER not getting too aggressive here towards the long.
So slow and steady is the Vexed lineup as they take positioning on the map. However, entering into middle is going to be a very nice option. I like that they're going for this. They can work out a lot about the CT setup from this. Ibika's in that position though, that's very good at countering the B split. And will they spot him? He's being flashed. And here it is. You can see over the smoke. He's got the silencer on as well. So they will have no idea where he is. In fact, he has been spotted by rallen. He gets tagged through the box. However, this push is really being thinned out. PiTER are standing strong at the moment. There's still 4 players left alive. rallen taking one of the rotators back out, and he's got 2 quick kills, but there's waterfalls there towards CT spawn, looking to ruin rallen's day, and that's what he's going to do.
Yep, Ćwikliński's taking him down. So, now Pete, he knows where this player is, but this player can just bait for his other players to rotate, but Pete not having any of it, going to snap Ćwikliński from the back. He still needs to make it onto the B-bomb site, but he's going to choose to save now. 2 more players to frag, and damage has been done to the CT side. He will save his ult for another day. They're
so broke right now. I mean, if they'd gotten the bomb down, then they would at least be able to do something in this next round. But look at this money. It sucks so much. The AWP is going to allow them to maybe get some kills, though, and that will be really important, because we can see that if they're able to get 2 or 3 kills in this round onto PiTER, even if they lose, they're going to keep PiTER within this range where they lose 1 and then they eco. That's so important in Vexed position. So they need to get at least 2 or 3 frags in this round, even if they die. I think that's more important than them getting the bomb down, to be honest.
Well, 3-man take for on the long for PiTER. Going to have some aggression from Hyper there, just trying to find out what the setup is, a run distraction, keep people over there while the rest of his team takes short. Pete's got the first frag on to Ćwikliński as well. Waterfall's trade, but a plant should come in there, so that's worst case scenario ticked off for Vex. Still in control of the AWP, and it's on to rallen no less, so things getting very dangerous for PiTER here on the retake.
Yeah, rallen's got the AWP, he was able to pick it up immediately when Pete died after that incredibly impactful entry frag. Now rallen, oh, great shot there onto waterfalls, might make a second one, gets tagged. Oh no, missing some very crucial shots here with the AWP. So oh no, he's got GruBy with him as well. GruBy can pick up the AWP now, and playing hot potato with that orb, but GruBy can't get to the orb, it's inaccessible. Might be able to get a kill though, but no, the weak player will drop away. And oh my god, that was so close. Holy moly, that was a close one.
0.4 seconds remaining, Dan.
And how many frags was there? I think it was just the 2 orb kills, right? I think it was just 2 orb kills, yeah. Yeah, just two AWP kills. So they did a good enough job. So now Vex can still get the situation where they can win this match. They just have to win this round. If they lose this round, it's pretty much over for them. But they have a solid opportunity here. They'll force eco, but they have to win it first, of course. Of course.
Well, open both sides. We'll see who gets the early engagements. Oh, the T's, how they got this far so fast. facecrack gets one, facecrack gets two. Going to retain hold of things for the time being, but he's going to finally go down in a team kill, Dan. I don't know what is going on in this match. This is absolutely insane. 3 versus 3. CT's completely out of position now.
I thought that he was going to escape. I was almost thinking to myself, oh my god, why can't they,
no survivors.
Why were they not able to trade this guy? Oh, right, okay.
That happened.
Yeah, Rallen's got a great defensive shot there, good angle found by him, and this is looking like a solid defense. waterfaLLZ is going to get crushed, so they even survive with 3 players. So even though their coordination on that push was off and that they never deserved to take that frag, and instead it went to a team kill, they still win the round with 3 players. So that is a they've been given something here. This is a sign of divine interest for Vexed.
PiTER's economy has been ruined. Have a 4-round advantage at the very least, so maybe they can do something. Spaze gets tagged again. Every time it's him. He must be thinking, why always me? And Tico going well so far for Vexed. Simply killing people. They should spot the last 2 players are on B, but Rallen's still holding an angle with the bomb towards CT spawn. So now his teammates have advanced all the way through A. We see the rotation from the bomb there. So playing it very safe are the Vexed side. Peet up close, taking down facecrack, leaving only spaze. Down he finally goes.
So now we can also see the money situation for the CTs. So they can get an AWP, but there's not a lot of grenades. There's a FAMAS on space. If Vex win this one, there's no AWP in the next round for PiTER. So they're in a position where they can actually get a lot of momentum just because of the buys are not really as PiTER would like them to be, and it gets worse from here on out. So this is a great position for Vex to retake control of this match. However, they do need to find the right plays, and they're looking for a pick from Hyper. He's got that fast timing onto long, but it's not going to pay off just yet.
Nade was going in the right direction, but it did no damage. So again, Vexed, they have an inkling as to what's going on in the CT side, generally speaking, where they keep pushing through this door, looking for an opening here. Ooh, almost finding a snap onto the CT, but not quite. Rallen's going to be the one to get tagged, in fact. So Peet pushing fast towards short now. We have a play towards car for the CTs, but nobody on site itself.
This is actually a really nice play, because the problem is they don't have anyone splitting from long, and you can see that lack of pressure is allowing waterfaLLZ all the freedom to take the frags here without having to worry about his back. However, Hyper's going to get that entry frag finally onto waterfaLLZ. Incredibly crucial one, that one. And now Hyper's going to go over the top with the AWP. He's going to smash PiTER's Jimka down straight away with the AWP. And now he's in a 1 of 3. Needs to get the ace to win this one. There's the 3rd kill coming in from Hyper. He's looking for more, of course, as the CTs get closer and closer. And they're boosting up. Will he actually spot this in time? He will not. Space takes him out, and the AWP will be claimed, and the defuse will be had. PiTER moving on to map points.
Indeed. So, we'll see what the economy is like for both these teams. Note the lack of defuse kit there. Things not ideal for PiTER or Vexed. Vexed will have enough money for a buy for the most part. We'll see what Furlan ends up with, as he's a bit short. And we'll actually have to look at who gets the better buyout. So Vexed going all in there. Double AWPs, AW, double AWPs again on the T side. Lots of nades to them as well. Furlan limited to just the Tech 9, opting for the grenades, hoping to pick something up a bit later on. This time it's facecrack's turn to get tagged through the double doors, so PiTER just cannot catch a break on the way to B.
Absolutely not. Now, it's quite good as for the Polish side here that they were able to field a strong buy. It's kind of crazy actually. Didn't expect that, but they got to get the picks here, and they're going to take long away from the CTs. It's a very defensive setup from PiTER. The question is how to abuse this, but waterfaLLZ, he's going to take Peet down. I think it was GruBy last time that fell to the one-way smoke there, the one-way smoke trick. This time it was a different player, so that's unfortunate that they weren't able to communicate that waterfaLLZ has been using that trick, so that they were able to circumvent it. And Ibika's going to get a kill into Hyper, so this is going from bad to worse here for the T's.
Indeed, 3 versus 5. Ubik, facecrack, spaze, all tagged though. Again, these AKs need to, well, this AK needs to put in work here. 2 AWPs and 1 AK, very awkward position to be in here, as it's going to be hard to trade as you take a site. So we'll see what the play is. AK trying to charge the issue, but again, close left. Spaze is going to come in and take 2 players down. Furlan versus the rest, well, the entire PiTER squad. There's 1 frag to him. How many more can he get? Just the 1. 16 to 11. Vexed will have to try and take this in 3 maps. As PiTER will even things up 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, that was just an awful first half, really, for a Vexed. They had an awful economy. They kept getting reset. Some of the rounds in which they had clear advantages. I think there were some misplays. They weren't able to defend correctly. A few key missed shots with the York from Car. Just everything falling apart. I would say just across the board generally. So very nicely done by PiTER to abuse this, to take the advantage and to close it out in the second half there. So moving to overpass, it's hard to say which team is really going to have the advantage. I definitely feel like Vex aren't playing as well as I usually see them. But this is online best of 1 instead. I've recently seen them in LAN. So, maybe the LAN pressure really helped them perform.
Best of 3 then.
But waterfalLLZ, and his teammates, we're seeing some good stuff there. waterfalLLZ on the AWP, he's been consistently opening things up. So if he can keep that going into overpass, then I think the chances here for PiTER are quite good. I
think we'll need to see how strong their T sides are, because there's always a stark difference. If your T side is lacking, you have a 3-12 half. If you have something to show, then you have a chance in second half. But we'll find out after the break. We'll be back in a few minutes with the final map of this best of 3.